Welcome to Visual Fantasy Book Recommendations, the channel dedicated to fantasy and science fiction book summaries, reviews, and recommendations. It is very helpful if you hit the like, comment, subscribe, and share. Help build my channel, and let's take a look into the best fantasy and sci-fi realms out there. Welcome back to Visual Fantasy Book Recommendations, the fantasy and sci-fi literature channel that reviews and explores the stories that shape our souls. I'm your host, Alan, and today we're venturing into the shadowed halls of the Six Duchies to examine one of fantasy literature's most emotionally devastating and beautiful works, Robin Hobb's Royal Assassin, the second installment in her groundbreaking Farseer Trilogy. This is a review and analysis over main concepts and themes without large spoilers. Imagine this. You're standing in a medieval court where every bow conceals a blade, every feast masks a funeral, and every friend might become your executioner before dawn. The air thrums with whispered conspiracies, and in the shadows moves a young man who belongs neither to the nobility that claims him nor the common folk who fear him. He is weapon and victim, protector and sacrifice, human and something more, or perhaps something less. This isn't the fantasy of gleaming knights and certain victories. This is the story of a bastard prince who must choose between his heart and his kingdom, between love and duty, between the man he wants to be and the tool he was forged to become. And listeners, it will absolutely wreck you in the most beautiful way possible. So grab your favorite reading nook beverage, settle in, and let's explore why Royal Assassin continues to leave readers emotionally shattered and spiritually renewed, decades after its publication. Royal Assassin transports readers into a realm where political intrigue cuts deeper than any sword. The story follows Fitz chivalry Farseer, illegitimate son of a prince, trained from childhood as the ultimate weapon in service to the crown. But Fitz is no cold-blooded killer. He's a deeply feeling young man caught in an impossible web of loyalties, secrets, and forbidden magic. The novel takes place in a kingdom under siege, not just from external enemies sailing across treacherous waters, but from internal corruption that threatens to poison the realm from within. Court politics dance a deadly ballet where one misstep means exile or death, and every alliance carries the weight of kingdoms. What makes this story so compelling isn't the clash of armies or the flash of magical battles, though both exist, but the intimate portrait of a young man trying to navigate impossible choices. Fitz possesses two forms of magic that mark him as different, dangerous, and desperately needed. The skill connects minds across vast distances, while the wit bonds humans with animals in ways that society considers abominable. Around him orbit characters who feel less like fictional constructs and more like people the reader has known and lost. Mentors who teach harsh lessons through brutal kindness, friends whose loyalties shift like morning fog, and enemies who wear familiar faces. The stakes aren't just the fate of kingdoms. They're the preservation of one's soul in a world that demands its sacrifice. This is fantasy that asks not, how will the hero save the world? But, how much of yourself can you give away and still remain human? It's a question that resonates far beyond the borders of any fictional realm. Robin Hobb has crafted something extraordinary in Fitz chivalry Farseer, a protagonist who feels achingly, devastatingly real. Fitz isn't the chosen one destined for glory. He's a young man shaped by circumstances beyond his control, trying to do right in a world where righteousness is a luxury he can rarely afford. His voice draws readers into an intimacy that feels almost uncomfortable at times, as if they're reading someone's most private thoughts. The genius lies in Fitz's contradictions. He's an assassin who struggles with taking life, a bastard who embodies nobility better than those born to it, a weapon who yearns for peace. These aren't flaws in characterization. They're the complex realities of a person forged by impossible circumstances. The supporting cast orbits around Fitz with equal complexity. There's Prince Verity, a man slowly sacrificing everything, his health, his happiness, his very self, for the salvation of his people. His devotion to duty transforms him from a robust prince into something haunting, a living reminder of what leadership truly costs. Queen-in-Waiting Kettrican brings a foreign perspective that challenges the kingdom's traditions while embodying a different kind of strength, one rooted in sacrifice rather than domination. She's neither weak nor invincible, but something more interesting, genuinely good in a world that punishes goodness. Then there's the enigmatic fool, a character who defies every attempt at categorization. Neither fully male nor female, neither entirely human nor wholly other, the fool serves as court jester while harboring secrets that could reshape the world. Their relationship with Fitz transcends friendship, romance, or mentorship. It becomes something unique and profound. Even the antagonists feel real rather than archetypal. Prince Regal embodies ambition unchecked by conscience, but Hobb never reduces him to a mustache-twirling villain. His motivations make sense from his perspective, making him all the more dangerous. What elevates these characters beyond typical fantasy archetypes is their emotional authenticity. They love imperfectly, grieve messily, and make decisions that haunt them. They feel like people the reader might meet in life, if life included magic and medieval courts. Royal Assassin explores themes that resonate long after the final page is turned. At its heart lies the eternal tension between duty and identity. Fitz constantly faces choices that pit his obligations as an assassin against his desires as a human being. Should he follow orders that will destroy his personal happiness? Can he maintain his humanity while serving as a weapon? These questions echo beyond the fantasy realm into real-world considerations about sacrifice, service, and self-preservation. The theme of isolation versus connection runs like a river through the narrative. Fitz exists in a paradox, simultaneously connected to others through magical bonds and utterly alone in his role as secret assassin. His forbidden magics link him intimately to animals and allies while marking him as an outcast from human society. This tension mirrors universal human experiences: the desire to belong while maintaining individual identity, the need for connection while fearing vulnerability. Power and its corrupting influence permeate every aspect of the story. Hobb explores not just how power corrupts those who seek it, but how it transforms those who inherit it, serve it, or resist it. The contrast between characters like Verity, who views power as burden, and Regal, who sees it as prize, illustrates different approaches to leadership and responsibility. Perhaps most powerfully, the novel examines sacrifice in all its forms. Characters sacrifice love for duty, safety for principles, and identity for survival. The story asks difficult questions. What is worth sacrificing for? When does sacrifice become meaningless martyrdom? How much can a person give away and still remain themselves? These themes interweave throughout the narrative without ever feeling heavy-handed or preachy. Instead, they emerge naturally from character decisions and story developments, making them feel inevitable rather than imposed. Robin Hobb's writing style deserves particular recognition for its emotional immediacy and psychological depth. She employs a first-person narrative that creates unprecedented intimacy between reader and protagonist. This isn't just Fitz's story, it becomes the reader's experience, shared moment by moment through prose that feels more like memory than fiction. Her pacing deliberately builds tension through accumulation rather than explosion. Some readers might find this approach slower than typical fantasy novels, but it serves a crucial purpose. It mirrors the way real emotional trauma develops and the way political intrigue actually unfolds. Threats don't announce themselves with dramatic flourishes. They build gradually until they become inescapable. Hobb excels at writing emotional nuance. When Fitz experiences betrayal, readers feel the specific quality of that pain, not generic hurt, but the particular ache of misplaced trust. When he struggles with magical abilities, the prose conveys not just the mechanics of magic, but the psychological cost of wielding power that society fears and despises. The author's descriptive abilities shine not in overwrought landscape descriptions, but in capturing internal states and interpersonal dynamics. A glance between characters can carry the weight of unspoken histories, and a simple gesture can reveal depths of character that pages of exposition might not achieve. This intimate writing style serves the story's themes perfectly. In a tale about isolation and connection, duty and identity, the close narrative perspective makes readers complicit in Fitz's choices while helping them understand the full weight of his sacrifices. Robin Hobb didn't set out to write escapist fantasy in the traditional sense. Her purpose appears to be challenging readers to confront difficult questions about loyalty, sacrifice, and identity through the lens of a beautifully realized fictional world. She uses fantasy elements not as ends in themselves, but as tools for exploring profound human experiences. The book speaks to readers who want more from fantasy than wish fulfillment, those who crave literature that engages with real emotional and ethical complexities. It's perfect for fans who loved the psychological depth of Ursula K. Le Guin's Earthsea books or the complex character work in George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, but it offers something uniquely its own, a deeply personal, achingly beautiful exploration of what it means to serve something larger than oneself. Royal Assassin appeals to readers seeking character-driven narratives that prioritize emotional truth over action sequences. It rewards patient readers willing to invest in slow-building relationships and complex political situations that mirror real-world power dynamics. Royal Assassin stands as a masterpiece of character-driven fantasy that refuses to provide easy answers to difficult questions. It challenges readers to consider the true cost of loyalty, the complexity of human relationships, and the weight of choices that seem impossible but must be made. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.